Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I will explain about periods of American literature. The definition of American literature into confession historical segment or periods likes the degree of conscious among literary schools that we find with reference to English literature. See periods of English literature. The many syllable of college surveys reprinted in reconciling American literature, and the essays in redefining American literature history. Loven Brown, Rolfe, and Jerry Ward demonstrate how variable are the temporal division and their names, especially since the recent effort to the justice to literature written by women and by ethnic minorities. A number of recent historians, anthropologists, and teachers of American literature simply divided their survey into detailed sections without affixing period's name. A prominent tendency, however, is to recognize the importance of minor words in marking significant changing in literature. This tendency, as the scholar choosing truth has remarked, suggests that there is an order in American political history more visible and compelling than that indicated by specific literary or intellectual categories. The following division of American literary history recognizing the importance assigned by many literary historians to the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, and World War II. Under this broad division are listed some of the more widely used terms. It will be noted are diverse in kind. They may signify a span of time or else a form of political organization or a prominent intellectual or imaginative mode or a prominent literary form. In the next periods of English literature, periods of English literature one is Old English. In this period is discussed about the oral literature developed written literature in the 7th century. The Anglo-Saxons also began writing in Latin, and poems written were already using vernacular language. To Middle English period, the 4.5 centuries between the Norman conquest when affected radical changing in the language, life, and culture of England about 1500. In the next, the Rhines and the next and the Rhines are early modern. There is an interesting use by historians of the term early modern to denote this era. The next, Elizabeth's age. A number of scholars have looked back on this era as one intellectual currency and social order. Next, Jacobean age. In this era, prose writing by famous British publishers. In the next, Carolingian age. This was the time of the English Civil War, fought between the supporters of the king, known as Cavaliers, and supporters of Parliament, known as Roundheads, from their custom of wearing their hard-cut sword. And the next, the Commonwealth period. In this period, England was ruled by Parliament under the Puritan leader Oliver Cromwell. His death marked the dissolution of the Commonwealth. Drama almost disappeared for 18 years after the Puritans collapsed. The public assemblies, the might foment civil disorder. The next, the restoration. In this era, there came back figures life after the revocation of the ban placed. In this period, England was in this area, the theater's comeback figures live after the revocation of the ban placed on Tembi the Prince in 1642, although they became more exclusive oriented toward the aristocratic class than they had been earlier. In the next August age, or age of poppy. In the 18th century and later, however, the term was frequently applied also to the literary period in England from approximately 1700 to 1785. Oh, I'm sorry, 45. Age of sensibility or age of Johnson. An older name for this half century, the age of Johnson, stressed the dominant position of Samuel Johnson and his literary and intellectual circle. The next Romantic period. Much writing of the period, whether imaginative or decades in verse or in prose, dealt with or reflect the pressing social, economic, religious, and intellectual issues. And next, Edwardian period. The poets at this time gained many achievements in prose fiction works that published the last novels of the period. And the next, the Georgian period. Georgian period is a term applied both of regions in England of the four socios Georges, and more frequently the region of Georgia. And the next, modern period. Modern period is frequently applied both especially to the literature written since the beginning of World War I in 1941. This period has been marked by persistent and multifaceted experiments in subject matter, form, and style has produced major achievements in all the literary genres. The modern age was also an important era for literary criticism. And the next, postmodern, last period. The postmodern is a name sometimes to the era after World War I. Person, tone, and voice. Specific application of the terms person, tone, and voice vary greatly and involve difficult concepts in philosophy and social psychology. Concept such as the self, personal identity, role playing, and sensory. In the next, I will explain about phenomenology and criticism. The philosophical perspective and method called phenomenology was founded by German thinker Edmund Husserl. He proposed the consequences is deliberate, intentional as he intentionally did not mean that it was intentionally done, but always direct at object. In the other words, to be aware of something. Husserl's claim is that in the aware of are involved and reciprocal. To break free from the previous concept, the phenomenological analysis of consequences begins with approach. Procrastination from all prejudice about the nature of experience, and this suspension involves break acting, holding back despair. The question of whether or not the object of conscience is real, that whether or not the object is outside the intention conscious. Phenomenological criticism is often applied specifically to the practice of Geneva School of Critics, most of whom studied at the universities of Geneva, and all of them were hit by friendship, interinfluence, and their general approach to literature. Geneva Street reserved a very literary works as a national work created from Leben's wealth. It's out and embody a unique mode of arts awareness in his approach to literature. Okay, thank you for your watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.